Okay, I am off mute. Amanda, are you off mute?
I'm off.
Yes. Okay, we're ready to go then. So I want to welcome everybody and thank everyone for joining us. I am going to share my screen now, and we will be able to get going with this presentation. All right, everybody sees the slideshow now, correct?
Yep.
All right, well, welcome everyone. We are Suzanne and Steve Clausen. We are independent travel advisors with CruiseOne, and we like to say that we provide vacation planning as personalized and attentive as itself. So let's talk about our agenda. Amanda is here from Holland America, and she's going to talk about the Alaska experience with Holland America. And Steve and I, fresh off our trip to Greenland and Iceland, and actually we even went to Norway in May, and Canada, are going to be sharing a little bit of our personal experience from that cruise. Hopefully that'll help get you excited about this. So let's move on. Just want to tell you a little bit about Steve and I, and that's the big waterfall that we hiked up 3 miles to see in Iceland just a couple weeks ago. We're passionate about travel. We love traveling ourselves, and we're passionate about helping our clients to have extraordinary travel experiences. So we're so glad that you joined us, and we look forward to working with you. Just a quick little run through about our agency. We've been open for 10 years. I won the Opal Award in 2019, which is for community service and outstanding sales. I earned my Master's Cruise Counselor this year, and our franchise is ranked in the top 2% of all CruiseOne Dream Vacations franchises nationwide. I myself have been traveling for 45 years. Steve is shortly behind me. I've been to 46 countries, 46 cruises, sorry, 7 continents, 6 countries and counting. And this is my very first trip out of the United States in 1975. So I'm very lucky to have Steve as my life partner and husband, because he loves to travel as much as I have. In the past year, since August of last year, we've been very blessed to take 12 different cruises. So we love to do that and have those experiences, so then we can better advise our clients when we come back home. So a couple advantages of working with our agency as opposed to going direct with the cruise line, or maybe working with an online, not personalized travel agency. You've got an insider in me working on your behalf, and I work to build strong relationships with all our suppliers, like Amanda at Holland America, so that we are always advocating for you and working for the best outcome for you. You get my expert planning assistance when you're planning your cruise or vacation. And I always like to say one size doesn't fit all. So I have a very consultative sales approach, in that I'm working with you to find out the best cruise for you, not the best cruise for the guy that lives next door. We have a low price guarantee. You will never pay more booking through CruiseOne than you will directly with the cruise line. And help is just one phone call away. If you have been in long hold queues at all this year, you know that it is no fun. I do that for you. So you just call me, and then I do the long hold. It's part of my job, and I take care of everything for you at the cruise lines. So now, without further ado, I want to introduce Amanda from Holland America. She is our regional business development specialist with Holland, and she's joining us to talk about the best way to experience Alaska, and that's with Holland America.
Thanks, Suzanne. So I'm excited to talk to you about Alaska, not only one of the most beautiful destinations, but also get to talk to you about Alaska with Suzanne. She is an incredible travel advisor. She helps all her clients. She's so passionate. So getting to work with people like her is incredible. So I'm very lucky to be here. I appreciate it so much. So let's go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about Holland America. So I'm very privileged to work for this company. In 2023, it is going to be our 150th anniversary as being a cruise line. So what an incredible history that comes along with your vacation. We have done so much over the years, bringing immigrants over to America, helping during World War II, take soldiers over to Europe. We've had the rich and the famous on board our ships, so an incredible history. And with that history, we really want to focus on bringing the best vacation to your clients. So on the next slide, like Suzanne said, one size does not fit all. And we focus on that for you because we want your vacation to be exactly what you want it to be. So whether you want to go out and explore, be a bit more active, whether that food and the wine is what you get excited for, you love live music, you're looking for the quality and service, or you're just looking for something special and different, Holland America brings all those options to you in one place. So you and your family can do as little or as much as you would like. Something special about our cruises is we actually have the Culinary Council. So they help put together the perfect dining experience for you. Not only are they contributing factors to the customer service, to the quality of our servers, but the food, putting together and mixing and matching the perfect entrees with the wine list and creating something special for you to have on each different cruise that you take with us. Something I do want to mention, just as a side note, is we did just announce Culinary Council itineraries as well, where these famous chefs you see right here will be on the cruise along with you. They'll be doing cooking presentations, creating special dishes for that cruise specifically. So a lot of neat contributions that they bring to make your dining experience special. For those who love entertainment, who love live music, who want that really unique experience, we have our music walk on board our ships, bringing you the best of the best as far as live music goes. Getting to see a live music experience is so different than just listening to the radio. The feel, just having everybody around you dance and excited. And this is exactly what our music walk brings. Not only do we have some incredible, I'm sorry about that. Not only do we have some incredible artists, but the excitement that comes along with it, the different varieties and genres of music. So a once in a lifetime experience with some of these incredible artists.
And I just want to chime in here. We had the best time at the billboard on board on our cruise. And what made it so special was it was so interactive. And we were going to Iceland. And I loved that stupid Will Ferrell movie about the couple from Iceland that competed in Eurovision. And there's a beautiful song from that movie that is sung partly in Icelandic. It was nominated for an Academy Award. I asked the piano player if she knew it. She said, no, but it's appropriate for this itinerary. I'm going to learn it. And she sang it several times. And then me, I'm kind of a crazy person, that the Rolling Stone Rock Room started playing the Cars, like on their set. I was in the middle of talking with my husband and Jill. I was like, oh, Cars, I have to go dance. And I'm like, okay, I'm a girl from the 80s. That was my favorite band. I was like, this is not your grandma's Holland America. The rock band was really good. I loved it. Okay, so I digress. Sorry to throw you off, but I just had to chime in there.
No, that's
and we love the BB King Blues Band as well, too. So we love all of them. I didn't go to Lincoln Center because they usually perform early in the evening and I was usually working then. So, all right, on we go.
So a lot of neat things for your onboard experience, but let's talk about how we really focus on the destination for Alaska, because that's something that's really important. Making sure that you are immersing yourself in the destination. That's one of the best parts about travel, seeing how a different destination opens up your world and your mind. So we want to make sure that when you get to go to this incredible destination, that's what happens for you as well. Holland America has been traveling to Alaska for 75 years now. So the relationship that we have with everyone in Alaska, they're so familiar with Holland America. When that bus comes down the street to take you into Denali National Park for your Tundra Wilderness Tour, people know about Holland America because of our history. And what that does is bring you a level of quality and service that you would not get anywhere else. So let's take a look at some of the awards I want to point out to you that we have received for our Alaska itineraries. There's so much to see in Alaska, so much detail that goes along with it. And when we plan your itinerary, either cruise or cruise tour, we take care of those details for you and make sure that you really are getting to enjoy this beautiful destination. So you have that great quality being on board the ship and then going into Alaska. You still get that rugged wilderness. You still get to see all of the best features of Alaska. So a couple things that I want to point out to you is we have the most itineraries going into Glacier Bay. So that's something you are going to get to take advantage. Glacier Bay is beautiful, getting to sail around, see the wildlife, see the glaciers, take some incredible pictures. I know Suzanne, in one of those first slides, she had a beautiful picture of them in front of the glacier. So that is fantastic. What makes our ships so nice is we are mid-sized ships. So our ships in Alaska range from 1,500 to 2,600 passengers. So we're really getting to go into some great destinations, and we have prime docking locations as well. We have weekend departures. We have 5 departures each week with 5 ships there. So plenty of freedom and flexibility. We take you into Denali. We give you that premier experience with a lot of great inclusions depending on the itinerary you select. And we also are the only cruise line that goes into the Yukon with our cruise tours. So getting to see even more of our great continent. All right, so much to see in Alaska. So that is why we offer both cruises and cruise tour experiences for you. What's great is we have so much flexibility with these itineraries. So no matter how much time you have to go see Alaska, I hope it's a lot because there's so much to see, but we can pick out the right itinerary to give you enough time to get that great sailing, get into Denali and explore, and fit that vacation in. For those of us who have that silly little thing called a job that tends to get in the way of our fun, right? So, well, not Suzanne. She works and has fun most of the time.
I don't know. Sometimes it's no fun going on a cruise when you have to work the whole time. But
That's true. That's absolutely true. So we really bring the ultimate Alaska experience to you. I mentioned that we have the most sailings going into Glacier Bay. We have those prime docking locations, and I do have some images for you just to give you a great idea. I talked about those midship. Not only does it allow us to go to places that other ships may not be able to go, but it gives you a great opportunity to see some of these destinations in a more intimate experience. So that's something fantastic about these smaller size ships. And we take great pride in bringing the detail, having our guides and having the park rangers come on board our ship, which is a cool experience as well, seeing them come up in their little boat, climb up the ladder to get on our boat, and they spend the whole day with us in Glacier Bay, letting us know about the animals, the glaciers, everything you can imagine and everything you couldn't imagine you'd want to know, they share with us. All right, so we actually have one of our Pinnacle class ships in Alaska as well. So I do just want to point this out to you because if you're looking for a little bit larger ship with all those incredible amenities, this is the one that you would like. We have our Rudy's restaurant. We have that Rolling Stone rock room like Suzanne brought up, and a lot of great opportunities for family and single staterooms. We also have our blend on here where you can actually mix and match and taste and create your own red wine. So some really neat features about our Pinnacle class ships.
we did that. We did the wine blending on our last cruise. It was so much fun. Yep.
All right, so here's a couple examples of our docking locations, just to really show you what that mid-size ship, how it makes a difference for you. So you can see when we pull into Juneau, we are right in town, right there. So when you walk off, you are next to some of these iconic restaurants, shopping, everything right there. So that is one of the great benefits of traveling with a smaller mid-sized ship. I'm going to show you another location right now too. This is in Ketchikan. So you can see that we pull right into Ketchikan. You can walk off the ship and start exploring immediately. So that's just another great benefit to having one of these mid-sized ships. I talked about Glacier Bay a little bit already, but this is such a fantastic day. Whether it's a little cloudy, whether it's rainy or sunny, it's an incredible day. We serve you split pea soup. You can have your coffee, sit in the Explorer Lounge, and just watch this incredible destination go by. A lot of opportunity to see whales and wildlife as well. So just a wonderful day to sit on board the ship and just enjoy the beauty around you. All right, so we wanted to make these experiences as beautiful and as easy as possible. So we do have a great selection of itineraries that are going to either embark or disembark in Whittier, which allows you to take the train to and from Denali. So this is a great experience for you. So you are going to be able to see all of that beauty the entire way to and from Denali. We do have the open dome cars. So you have windows all through the top, allowing you to take pictures, getting to see as much as possible. We serve breakfast and lunch on the train, some great food options. The bartender is walking back and forth to make sure you get as many moose kisses, which is a fantastic, delicious drink, as many as you want while you watch and take pictures and just enjoy the train ride. So a wonderful, wonderful way to start your adventure or end your cruise adventure with Holland America. All right, so I did just want to point out a couple of our most popular itineraries to you, just so that you can really see how much is included in these great places that you are going to adventure to. So you can see that depending on your itinerary, whether you're going to start in Seattle, it may be a little different, getting to see Victoria or Sitka with our round trip itineraries. So depending on what you're looking for, we have an itinerary that you can get in and see as much as possible. So this is our Alaskan Explorer. The next one is our 7-day inside passage. So you're going to start a little further up north into Vancouver, a beautiful place to get to visit if you want to add a little time, the beginning or the end. And you can see that you're going to go all the way up into Skagway with this itinerary. So a lot of neat things to see with our inside passage. Get to see a little bit further north.
And I love that cruise on that last day between the island and the mainland of Canada. It's very beautiful. It's one of the most serene things. You can just sit out on your balcony and just enjoy the view. It's amazing.
I was actually on that itinerary in May. We had a beautiful sunny day that last day, and everyone was out by the pool in their swimsuits, just taking it all in. It was fantastic. So we also have our Glacier Discovery. So this is a really great itinerary. Not only do you get to see a lot along the cruise, but this is a perfect matchup with some of our cruise tour options. So you can see that you will start or end in Vancouver and really get up along that inside passage. So a lot of opportunity to see a good portion of Alaska by the coast. So I talked about really immersing yourself in the destination. So these are some experiences that we offer for you to really take in Alaska. Even on a sea day, if you just want to sit and have a coffee, we are going to still bring that destination to you in new and exciting ways. We've partnered with BBC Earth so that we can bring the destination to life with music. We're going to have food demonstrations. We have excursions that include food demonstrations, different tastings, all of that for you to get the best of Alaska.
And I just wanted to add that port to table experience, we experienced that in the Arctic as well. When we were in Greenland and Iceland, we were getting Arctic char and all these beautiful fresh fishes that were obviously brought onto the ship when we were in port in that area. So really a wonderful program.
All right, so Alaska truly is a destination for everyone, whether you're traveling on your own, whether you're traveling as a couple, whether you're traveling with your family. Alaska brings so much variety that anybody in your family is going to have a great time. It's perfect for first-time travelers and getting to see even more. We also offer for our families a lot of variety. We do have Club Hal if you wanted to bring children or grandchildren, if you wanted to get out there and do some more active excursions, all of that is available. If you wanted to just lounge and enjoy getting to lay by the pool while seeing the snowy mountain above you, all of that is available. So a perfect itinerary for any experienced traveler. This is really on top of the list. So I just want to point out a couple things about why booking a cruise tour. So on the next slide, it's a nice picture of Alaska. Look at how big Alaska is. It's huge. There's so much to see, so much beauty, so much variety within Alaska. So taking an Alaska cruise is absolutely amazing. But if you do have that extra time to venture into inland of Alaska, or maybe even adding on the Yukon, getting into Dawson City and seeing where the gold rush took place. And this Dawson City is actually one of the only places in the world where their casino actually donates all their money back to the city of Dawson City. So that's an incredible feature. People still pay for drinks with gold flakes. Really takes you back into time. So if you have that extra time, please think about adding on and seeing even more of this incredible destination. All right, just a couple things to remind you about our cruise tour. So we have our own resort in Denali, all Holland America guests with restaurants. We have beautiful suites that you can upgrade to. We have live music happening, s'more making, all kinds of opportunity right here at your resort. We do have a variety of itineraries with 2 or 3 night stays in Denali that allows you to get into Denali, take the Tundra Wilderness Tour, and see as much as possible. So a really great way to get in there and explore. Here's a couple pictures of that rail car that I told you about. It is included on every cruise tour, taking you into Denali and back. So a wonderful way to travel without having it to be kind of that motor coach experience. You get up, walk around. We have a guide on there that's going to tell you stories, give you the history. Mine was absolutely hilarious. She made us laugh the whole time. So a lot of fun to get to experience this train ride to and from Denali. Just a couple pictures here just to give you an idea of what the resort does look like. This is the front of the resort where you get dropped off, and if you take any excursions, they will pick you up right in front of the chalet. This is the square where they have live music. They'll do s'more making. You can sit out there, have a drink, eat lunch, breakfast. They have a great place for you to take a very classic Alaskan photos. If you want to be sitting on a salmon with the fur hat and the fur jacket, we can make that iconic experience for you right here in the square. So much fun, a lot happening, and everyone enjoys spending their time there. We also have suite upgrades. So I do just want to mention that we have these great suite upgrades for you to take advantage of if you wanted to make your stay a little bit more with a little bit more space, some beauty. It has a map of Alaska on the wall there, some incredible upgrade options. Yeah, some pretty options there for sure. All right, so lots of wildlife. You want to make sure you have your camera, lots of opportunity during the Tundra Wilderness and while aboard the cruise. So just keep in mind, if you are a lover of wildlife, you want a little bit more opportunity to get to see. Any time of the year is a great time to get to see wildlife. In the spring, you may have the opportunity to see some of the babies, and then you have a lot of opportunity throughout the summer and the fall. So great opportunity if you are a wildlife lover. Just a couple examples of our cruise tours here showing you how you can take a cruise and then venture into Denali National Parks, getting to see Fairbanks, Anchorage, and getting to experience more of what Alaska has to offer.
I was going to say, Holland America has so many different options. It really is a matter of the time you have to allocate to the trip and what your interests are. Jill, who is on this call, just got back from the 18-night Yukon cruise, where you start in Vancouver. You start in Vancouver and you go up and you do the Fairbanks, and then they go to the Yukon and then White Pass. And she had nothing but wonderful things to say about it. So she took that in, I think May or June. So
Beautiful.
everything in between. And Holland America even has some itineraries for people who don't want a long cruise. They think they don't like cruising. I don't know why, but they can actually get on the ship in Skagway or get off the ship in Skagway and go into the Yukon and take a land tour that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lots and lots of variety and options for you. I had mentioned the exclusive access to the Yukon with us. So you do get 2 nights in Dawson City. You will have a dedicated journey host with you to make sure that everything runs smoothly, answer your questions, really helps you get the best of the experience. So a lot of little extras that come along with our cruise tour experiences. Just another picture to give you an idea here of what you can do with the Yukon on a 13 or 14 day itinerary, getting to go from Vancouver up north and then getting into Dawson City and coming back down into Denali. So a lot of wonderful options for you to take advantage of. Whatever will fit in your time schedule, we have so many options to help you with that. That's my quick but sufficient spiel on Alaska. So please let us know if you do have any questions. I'm happy to help answer any of those.
Yeah, and there's a lot to take in there. I'm of course here to answer your questions via phone call. Give me a phone call after today or tomorrow, and I am here to help you out and help you find the right itinerary just for you. So we're going to move on now, and we'll ask. Do we want to? Okay, do we want to do some Alaska questions now, or everything at the end? Let's do them all at the end. Okay, that works. All right. So now Steve and I are going to be presenting. It's mostly going to be me, but we are your Arctic experts. I was trying to figure out how to organize this presentation because we have these 3 feature cruises, and I know this is an eye chart, but what I wanted to show you is that the ones that are highlighted in green are shared by these 2 cruises. The ones that are highlighted in yellow are shared by these 2 cruises, and then the unique destinations are in the turquoise. So if I've already covered a destination when I'm going over an itinerary, I'll try to refer back to that slide when I'm talking about the next one. So let's get going. So this is our featured one. This is the one that Steve and I will be escorting next year. We're already booked. We're so excited about going. You will have the fjords of Norway. You will go all the way up to the most northern inhabited place on Earth. Then you'll skip around here and get to see Iceland. If you have ever seen Iceland once, I think it's worth going back about 5 times because it's one of the most beautiful places on Earth. And then the cruise also visits Scotland, which we have never been to. So we're super excited about going to visit Scotland. So the ship is going to be the Vista class, Holland America Zuiderdam. So this is sort of their mid-sized class of ships, and starts June 11th of 2023. No, I think it's about 2,200 on the Vista classes. Am I right on that, Amanda? 2,200 people? Yes. Okay. All right. Here's a detailed look at the itinerary with all the different times, the scenic sailing days. You see, we've got several days that are scenic sailing here. We've got our port time, but I'm going to go through this itinerary really quickly with some of the highlights. Now, you will fly into Amsterdam, or you could fly into another European city of your choice, spend a couple days there, and then fly to Rotterdam from there. But because of the logistics of getting from the US to Rotterdam, the flights are going to be into Amsterdam, and Holland America provides a very reasonably priced transfer from the Amsterdam airport to the Rotterdam port and back. So you can come in early. Their flights program is very flexible. So that's the beginning of the cruise. The cruise is going to visit Dover, England. Now, we've never been to Dover. We've been to London, so we plan to check out the sites around Dover. However, if you've never been to London and want to go to London, there are tours that will take you into London from Dover. First port of call is going to be some of the scenic fjords in Norway. So we've got Bergen, and this is actually my own picture here of Bergen. And then we've got one of the scenic fjords that we'll be cruising. And then it visits the city of Molde, Norway, which is famous for its Atlantic Road. You've probably seen it in car commercials. It's this road that winds around and it goes from a rock to an island, and it connects all these communities that are along this part of the Atlantic in Norway. So moving on, we will go from Molde up to Longyearbyen, which is the northernmost city in the world. And there's sort of a story that you're not allowed, it's illegal to die in Longyearbyen. It's not illegal to die there. It's just you can't be buried there. You have to be either cremated or your body has to be shipped back to the mainland, because the tundra is so cold that they can't really bury bodies the right way there. So you get to visit Longyearbyen. That's what you see in that upper right-hand picture. From there, there is a wildlife safari that you can take, and you might see some polar bears or maybe some walruses. But then we'll go even further north to Ny-Ålesund. And Ny-Ålesund is a research station, but it is the most northern permanent settlement, because this research station is year-round, and different countries around the world have an Arctic research station here. From there, we will do a cruise to the polar ice cap, which I'm super excited about, and then cruise one of the beautiful fjords that's up in that area. We'll leave that area and head over to Iceland. And I'm very excited. These are all my own pictures from Iceland. This is in the port of Akureyri. You definitely want to go out and see the picture that you see in the upper right, the Godafoss Falls. They are just a really spectacular horseshoe-shaped falls. And legend has it that when the kings of Iceland decided to convert from paganism to Christendom, they threw the wooden gods over the falls, and that's how the name got the name Godafoss. Now that we've been told that is actually just a legend, that it actually got its name some other way, but that's the story that people tell. That lava fields that you see in the middle with a little bit of snow on it, that is a Dimmenberger, which at Christmas time, they light up with lights, and they have the local folks portray the Yule lads, which are kind of like Santa's naughty helpers, I guess is the best way to explain what Yule lads are. And the cave that you see, if you are a Game of Thrones fans, that is Jon and Ygritte's cave from Game of Thrones, but not really. They actually just took a representation of that cave and reproduced it on a set, but it is a real cave in Iceland. Then we also, I hit it twice. We also got to visit on this cruise that we most recently did, Isafjordur, and the polar ice cap cruise will also visit Isafjordur. Our excursion that day was to go to this abandoned village called Histeré, and we got to see, it's actually abandoned, but the homes are still summer homes for the descendants of the people that moved out of there in 1950. The amazing thing is, if you look at the ages of the people buried in the graveyard there, they're mostly in their 90s. They live to be almost 100 years old because they worked so hard all their lives that it made them very hardy and very, very long lived. That was a beautiful area, and I thoroughly enjoyed that excursion. We'll also visit Reykjavik on this cruise. So in Reykjavik, you can see some of the beautiful things that are in town, the architecture of the cathedral there. We did whale watching, and this is my own picture of a little whale here in our cruise. That one came right up, and yeah, that was a humpback. He came right up to the ship and came up right underneath us. We weren't chasing him. He came up by us. That was amazing. We must have seen 15 or 20 minke and humpback whales that day. Beautiful. The Blue Lagoon is also a popular place to visit in Iceland. It is this beautiful geothermal bath. And then the picture that you see of the town there, I want to point out, there's the cathedral kind of from over by where we were docked, and we walked into town along the water. Now, what I highly recommend from Reykjavik is that you take the Golden Circle tour. This tour will take you out to Thingvellir National Park. You'll get to see the Golden Falls. You will get to see the cracks in the earth where the North Atlantic plate is separating Europe and North America. It's just amazing. And that geyser goes off about every 8 to 12 minutes. I think we saw it go off 4 times while we were there. Just an amazing sight to see. This cruise will also take us to Scotland. And again, I was mentioning that I've never been to Scotland before. So Kirkwall is on a little Scottish island. There are gardens there. There are ruins of ancient Celtic civilizations that you can see there. The cruise ship also visits Queens Ferry, which is the gateway to Edinburgh. So if you want to go explore downtown Edinburgh, you can do that. Or I have a picture of St. Andrews Country Club here. We've actually booked our tour already. We're going to go visit St. Andrews because my husband and I are big golf fans. And then Invergordon. Invergordon is the coastal part of Inverness and the Loch Ness and Scottish Highlands. So we are going to go see the Loch Ness and see if we can find the monster. That's what we're going to do there. We're very, very excited. I have Scottish heritage, so I'm excited to actually go visit Scotland for the first time. Now, moving on, we've got our Norway intensive cruise. So this one we call the Midnight Sun and Norse Legends. So there's some of the ports are going to repeat from what I just showed you. So I'm going to mostly focus on the highlights of the new ports that you will not visit in the ones that I've already shown you. So this is on the new Statendam. So this is one of the brand new Pinnacle class ships. This is the ship that we just took to Greenland and Iceland and Canada. Beautiful ship. Again, it has that wonderful music walk with the Rolling Stone rock band and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we absolutely love the ship. I can't say anything I didn't like about the ship, really. And this really is the ultimate Norway itinerary. You visit so many of these other places that you don't see on normal Norway cruises. Say that 10 times fast. And you go all the way up to this part of Norway that is the Hardangerfjord, which is all the way inside the polar in the Arctic Circle, excuse me.
It's worth mentioning on this one too, that it's a 21-day itinerary, but if you didn't want to do 20 days, you could do a 14-day or a 7-day portion of it too. The first 14 days, you're coming back to Copenhagen and going out for another 7, which mostly different ports, but you could do a 7, 14, or this 21-day itinerary.
Thank you, Steve. Yes. So a couple of the highlights. Copenhagen is a wonderful city to visit on its own. You probably want to come in and spend at least 1 or 2 days there pre-cruise. And then these are some of the highlights that you would see on this cruise that you don't necessarily see on those other on the typical cruise that visits Norway. This is the Seven Sisters Falls that you see here, and then some of those charming villages and those ancient Nordic style churches are some of the highlights. Ålesund. These are actually pictures from when we visited Ålesund in May. We had a lovely day there, and at least in the afternoon, the sun was out. And the unique thing about Ålesund is that in the early 20th century, the entire town burned down. So they decided to rebuild the entire town in this beautiful Art Nouveau style architecture. So there's a lot of symmetry in the architecture there. They also have the Atlantic Aquarium, and that's where you see that harbor seal that's smiling for us. And I don't know, I think that's a shark. I took a picture of it, the aquarium. It was amazing to see all the different types of fish that live in the North Atlantic. And if you're really adventurous, you can hike up that rock. I actually have done that twice now. It's stairs, so you go all the way up this rock. It's can't remember how many it is, but
22 stairs or something.
Okay, and I'm not in very good shape, and I did it, so that's quite an adventure. But if you want that view, you can also take a cab up there as well, or the hop-on, hop-off bus. So Geringer, again, the Seven Sisters Falls is there. In Geringer, they have a floating dock, so you do not have to tender. This dock actually comes out to meet the ship. You don't have to tender. And there's a wonderful waterfall that you can hike up to, and you see the views of the beautiful fjord there. So now moving on to our next cruise. So there was a lot of repeats on that voyage, and let me go back to the whole itinerary just so you can see it. So some of the places we already have talked about. We talked about Bergen. We talked about Mold. Trondheim, I want to just talk about that really quickly, because Trondheim is one of those places when you see the pictures, like the picture postcards of Norway, Trondheim is usually the place that they're showing. And then there's a lot of these different beautiful fjords as you're coming back on that cruise. So if you want a Norway intensive cruise, that is the best one to take. Okay, so now moving on, this is basically the cruise we just took. So I have so many exciting things to tell you about it. So you go from Boston round trip, no overseas flight required. You visit the Canadian Maritimes twice. You visit Greenland twice, and you circumnavigate Iceland. It is on the Holland American Zondam. So this is one of their smaller ships. So you're going to have a little bit more intimate experience. It's a whole, I think it's 1,571 passengers on the Zondam. And again, it's Boston round trip. So no overseas flight required. Take a look at it.
I'll say, when we just did this, essentially the same itinerary in August of this year, it was on the New Tottenham, a much bigger ship. And we were pretty much full. 2,600 people, so that's a much smaller ship. I'm surprised to see that. If you're interested in this particular cruise, I would not wait until the end, hoping to get cabin, because it will sell out.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna sell out. So just taking a look at the itinerary, you start in Canada, you visit Greenland, then circumnavigate Iceland, visit Greenland again, and then go back to different ports in Canada. And you even actually on this itinerary, they've added an extra day, so you visit Portland, Maine. At the beginning, and then Harbor, Maine at the end. Hey, guys. Sorry, my dogs are trying to play with each other. So let's just talk about some of the highlights. So from the Canadian Maritimes, we love the Port of Sydney, and they're famous for their giant fiddle. They also had this amazing sculpture that was representing the dangers of being a maritime worker. When we were in, let's see, it wasn't Red Bay, it was Corner Brook, we took a tour out to Grossmorn National Park, which is one of the most beautiful areas of Canada I've ever seen. Just beautiful, beautiful scenery. That's here. Then we went to this little town called Red Bay. The town has like 500 people. When we got off the tender, the mayor of the town was there, handing out little maps of his town and welcoming all of us to his little town. We felt so welcome. They really rolled out the red carpet for us. And in their museum there, they have really just one artifact, and it is the remains of a Basque whaling vessel that they found very well preserved. It's one of the oldest and most well preserved Basque whaling vessels that date back to shortly after the discovery of the New World. The fishermen and whalers would come from Europe to fish and whale hunt in North America. Some here, see, I hit it twice and okay. Here's some highlights from Kokortok, which is our first little city we visited in Greenland. Somebody called it the Amalfi Coast of Greenland because of all the beautiful buildings on the hillside, which I thought was kind of cute. We visited a little museum there where you can see some of the arts and crafts that the Inuit people have done for years, and you can see their kayaks, which were a very important part of their culture because they lived basically on hunting and whaling for all of their history until the early 20th century, when of course those things were outlawed. So it was a complete change in lifestyle for those people. When you circumnavigate Iceland, of course you're going to visit Akureyri, which I already showed you pictures of, Reykjavik, Ísafjörður, and also you visit Grundarfjörður. But on this itinerary, you visit these two ports, Seyðisfjörður, which is where, if you look at the picture of Steve when we come back and we can see everybody, that was the hill we hiked up 3 miles to go see the waterfall that you see on the left there. Mm-hmm. And then we also in that town is where they have this lovely church with the Rainbow Road. Hey, Odin, no, baby. So we have a dog named Odin because my dog named him that after we got back from Norway. Then Djúpafjörður, excuse my Icelandic, it's terrible, where is this little town where they follow the philosophy of slow living. They have campsites there, and one of the things that they have is this little exhibition of sculptured eggs that represent all the different birds in the area. And then I hiked up onto a hill near the campground and took this lovely picture of our ship. They have little snails painted on the sidewalk there because they want everyone to slow down. You know, it's like that song, Feeling Groovy. Slow down, you move too fast. Anyway, that's they subscribe to that philosophy there. So I thought that was amazing. So Nanortalik is the last port in Greenland that you'll visit on this cruise. It's called Place of the Polar Bears. I'm sorry to say that we didn't see any. There weren't any in town. We had a wonderful time experiencing the culture. This little church that you see there, the choir did a concert on the hour, every hour while we were in town. And they asked for a $10 donation if you went and sat down to listen to them. I mean, this is a very small rural place, so why not? We got these big tourists on this fancy boat asking for $10. But we walked by, we didn't stop, but we could hear the music. And it was really to see just this lovely little town choir. I mean, they weren't very good, but their heart was in it so much. It was lovely. And they also have this museum there that shows a lot of the artifacts of the Inuit culture from back in the early 20th century, when they were completely depending on the blubber industry for their survival. So it's very interesting to see all that. Love that little town. So now we're moving on. Let's see, I keep clicking that twice. We're moving on to Canadian Maritime. So we went to the three saints, Saint Anthony, Saint John, and Saint Pierre and Miquelon. Saint Anthony, there is a Viking ruin there. We did not book our tour early enough to get on that tour, so we didn't get to go out and see that. So we had our own Viking experience by tasting beer in a brewery called Rangerrock. And then our next port was St. John's, where we hiked up this hill, not for a waterfall, but to see this beautiful basilica. And while we were touring the basilica, the tour guide said, oh, when you're done, go next door, knock on the convent door, and you can go see the Veiled Virgin, which is produced by an Italian master. And that is what that picture is. That is all marble. And there was no charge. I gave a little donation. And we were in Newfoundland, and there's a lady walking down the street with her Newfoundland. So what did I have? Take a picture with your dog. And then the jelly bean buildings. Those are things that are famous. One of our favorite days was our very chill day in Saint Pierre and Miquelon, which is territorial France. We went to the museum and learned up how important that place was during the bootlegging era, the Prohibition era, and about how much rum got smuggled through Saint Pierre and Miquelon. And they also very much celebrated their French culture. We had a charcuterie and a bottle of wine, and got to see some French country dancing. That was an amazing little port. So Halifax, Halifax is, of course, in Nova Scotia, which means New Scotland. So there's a lot of Scottish heritage. Our tour guide, she wore a Scottish kilt, did a demonstration on lobsters. We had lobster rolls. When we were getting ready for our send-off, that bagpipe player stood outside and played the bagpipes while our ship was sailing away. And we visited Peggy's Cove, which is one of the most scenic lighthouses in the world. In Bar Harbor, you can see the weather was not cooperating for us in Bar Harbor, but the lobsters were. We had a lovely lobster lunch in Bar Harbor. So I don't know if anybody is new to cruising or not, but I will go over this really quickly because I think it's important to know what's included with your cruise fare and what is not. Now, everything you see here is included with your cruise fare. Enrichment lectures, so much is included. Odin, please. Steve, if you could come do something with this dog, that would be great. But I want to talk to you about how to make your cruise fare more inclusive, because normally your gratuities are not included. Your drinks, your alcoholic drinks are not included. Specialty dining is not included. Your shore excursions are not included. So Holland America has the Have It All package. Now it's $99 a day. If you add it, you can add it to our group rates, which don't include the Have It All, for $50 per person per day. So it adds a lot of value for like half the cost. You get 1 to 3 nights of specialty dining, depending on the length of your cruise. So if you're in a 7-night cruise, it's 1. If you're on like a 21-night plus, it's 3. You get the surf Wi-Fi package, which allows you to just check email and text. You get shore excursions. So on a 21-night or longer cruise, you get 3 $100 shore excursion credits per person. So that helps you make your shore excursions more included in your cruise. And then, of course, your alcoholic beverages, 15 drinks per day. That is a combination of alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So, watch your bottled water if you want to drink a lot. And includes specialty coffees. And then right now with the September promo, Holland America is including the gratuities for the crew. So that covers your dining and your hotel staff for gratuities. And if you want to book with one of our group rates on any of these 3 itineraries that we featured tonight, it's a promotional rate. You don't have to have 10 people, one person can book it. It's your choice to add it or not. So we give you some options. And with either one, it's going to be refundable deposits. So now let's talk about those special deals. So we've got 50% reduced deposit, up to $300 onboard credit per cabin. And you can see that onboard credit is listed here. You get the shore excursion credits, 1 to 3, depending on the length of your cruise, your crew appreciation, your Wi-Fi, your specialty dining, and those offers combined with our cruise night promo. Well, you may ask, what is our cruise night promo? So this is our cruise night promo. Just for attending this event, if you book by September 31st, you will get these additional onboard credits with that. And finally, if you are ready to book and can book by tomorrow, CruiseOne has a special promotion, and this was put together independent of this cruise night, but we do have it still running. And I checked to see what it's combinable with. It's combinable with everything. So I think the only thing it's not combinable with is our group rates. So you would have to book Have It All. You'd get the cruise night promotion, and then you would get this on top of that. So very nice onboard credit offer. So everybody always asks me, what about pricing? So I wanted to kind of give you an idea. This is our group rates that do not include the Have It All. You would have to add it to these. And I want to point out that on the smaller ship, the balconies are only available in the suite category. So I have lots of clients that will simply book an ocean view on that one because the ocean views are nice. They're plenty big. They have natural light, and they'll just forgo the balcony because the ship is so small. It's really easy to get to an open deck to be able to see scenery and that kind of stuff. But if they want to splurge, they'll get the balcony suite.
Just to be clear, this pricing here is just for those 3 groups we have to the Arctic. We're not showing any Alaska pricing right now because there's so many different options and choices. If Alaska's interested, give us a call and we'll work something up for you.
Oh yeah, exactly. And these are longer cruises, so that's reflected in the price. But I wanted to let you know that there's so many good deals going on right now. If these 3 itineraries don't work for you, or maybe you're interested in doing, and let me go to the next slide. Maybe you're interested in doing this cruise, which is followed. You can take another, is it a 20-night cruise, Steve? I think it's a 20-night cruise that goes
after the 21 Arctic polar ice cap one round trip out of Rotterdam. It does do a 20-day return to Boston. So you could, if you really wanted to be on a cruise ship for 41 days, you could do the round trip Rotterdam one and 20 days back to the United States. You only have to fly over there once.
Yeah, so you would be able to basically, it combines this cruise, excuse me, I'll circle it here, this cruise with many of the ports from this cruise. It's in one way, it's a one-way cruise though. So if you got 41 days to spend at sea, let me know, I'll help you book it. So now we're ready to open up for any additional questions and comments. Do we want to stop sharing our screen so we can see everybody? Okay, all right. And hopefully Odin will cooperate. Well, everybody, you're on mute. So you can either just raise your hand and I'll call on you, and then you can unmute yourself to ask questions. Amanda, why don't you unmute yourself as well, so you can chime in if it's a question you need to answer. Does anybody have any questions? I need to get where I can.
Ask or hold the space bar.
Yeah, unmute or hold down the space bar and ask.
Yes, we covered it in detail, huh?
I guess it was a lot of information. Okay, so does everyone know how to get in touch with me? We will send an email to you to follow up to this. We invite you to give me a phone call, send me an email if you want some more information. Like I said, I do a very consultative sales process. So when you call me, you'll get my full attention. We'll be on the phone together. We'll talk about different options for you, especially with Alaska, because we just featured a couple of them. There are so many different Alaskan itineraries that Holland America offers. So I want to make sure
And
that
before
I'm finding
October,
the
so
one that
May-
works for
May
you.
through September, so there's a lot of
A lot of
different dates too.
lot of dates. So I definitely want to work with you to find the option that's going to work best for you. And then if you want to join us for any of the Arctic ones, we'd love to have you on our extended one to the polar ice cap. I think that's going to be absolutely amazing. And then just, reach out to me. I'll do a quote comparing our group rates with the current promotion and the group rates with adding the current promotion, and we'll figure out what option is going to be the best deal for you.
Suzanne, I do have one question.
Good.
It doesn't really have anything to do with the actual cruises you're looking at, but Holland America is a part of the Carnival Corporation, as is Princess. Does any of that, like we're elite on Princess, does that roll over at all into anything with Holland America?
No, Carnival has not set up reciprocity with
Okay.
among their brands.
Okay. Just curious. All right, thanks.
Yeah, but don't let that stop you. I mean, the thing is, I was like, what, you're not going to go on the cruise because you don't get a free bag of laundry?
Oh, yeah.
No, and
It
I
was
have.
question. I didn't know if it did or not.
Yeah, no. That's I always joke about that. I get free laundry on such and such a line. I'm like, so you're not going to take this fabulous cruise because you don't get a free bag of laundry. We always kind of laugh at some people like that.
This is the time with so much onboard credit though as well, that bag of laundry is not going to be an issue with all the onboard
Yeah.
credit and additional amenities that you get. I mean, it's really worth it.
Yeah, Steve, how much did we pay for the unlimited laundry? $134, $164?
About $124, I think it's $124 or $125. The 24-night cruise, we had unlimited laundry.
Unlimited laundry. And I have to tell you, the laundry service on Holland America is spectacular. They bring your clothes all on hangers in like a little hanging bag. Everything's hung up, and I don't know if it's just hung up and just quick pressed or something, but it doesn't come up all folded and wrinkled. I was amazed with the laundry service. I was like, oh, I don't have to pack anything next time. I'll just send laundry out all the time. It was really good laundry service. I have to say, it was.
We sent some out every 2 or 3 days, so.
Yeah. We took advantage of it. It was a good deal. Anybody have any questions about entertainment, food on Holland America? We didn't even mention the Lido Marketplace, which is it's not a buffet. It's their quote buffet area, quick service area, but everything is made pretty much a la minute. They serve it to you. There's stations. We would go up there sometimes for dinner if we'd had a long day. Oh, the pizza. I forgot the pizza place. The pizza was
best.
really
1
good.
a.m. No, 11
Yeah,
p.m.
well, 11 p.m. Me and John and Joe, when we went up there one night. Oh, and we were very lucky. In August, we saw the Northern Lights on our cruise. It was quite amazing. So those August and maybe the August itineraries, it gets dark enough that you have a chance to see the Northern Lights. Not in
Which is
June
nice.
though.
We were in
What's
Florida
nice
the first
too
week in September, and some people that were with us in Alaska saw the Northern Lights in Alaska too. We missed it. We were asleep.
Did you see him, Amanda?
I saw it on my airplane, but I only saw white because of the moon. But that was in August. So in the fall, you also have the opportunity for the Northern Lights. But what I was going to mention is in our Lido deck, all of that is included. The burger place, the pizza place, all of that is included in your cruise rate. And we also do pop-up nights where we might have in Alaska, we might do like a seafood broil one night, or we have a Rudy's pop-up come up. So there are different opportunities within the Lido deck to try something different and new. We have a great little Asian station where they make your meal right there. So it isn't just the average kind of buffet style, lots of different options. So it's really
Yeah.
neat. You can
The variety was really good.
whatever
Really
you want.
good. I mean, we were on that ship for 24 days and we didn't get bored of the food. So there was plenty of variety. What else was I going to say about the dining? The specialty dining. So we got to try the Pinnacle Grill, the Tamarind, and the Canaletto. we actually did Canaletto twice because of the promotion that you put on my group. We actually had 2 Canaletto dinners, and that was truly amazing. It was very good. So, all right, Jill, you want to add anything? Jill and John were our traveling companions on that cruise.
Yeah, no, it was a great cruise. We really enjoy Holland America, and the triple Denali in Alaska was great. So going to Whitehorse, and seeing the gold rush, and the casino, everything was really good. Yeah.
Particularly the weather too. It was fantastic. We had clear days just about every day. You can see Denali from like across the ocean almost.
Yeah, May and June was a great time to go to Alaska. And we also got a chance to see puffins on the cruise, the recent cruise. And that, for me, they're called the parrot of the sea, if you've ever seen puffins. So a lot of amazing stuff. And we saw a grizzly bear in Alaska. So both cruises were great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on that polar ice cap cruise, there's going to be a chance to see polar bears. It's not guaranteed. Yeah, we're trying to convince them. So are there any other questions I can answer for anyone?
Yeah, you guys did an awesome presentation. It's very well organized, and we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
You were okay, Steve.
Pushing buttons.
All right, you're not recording anymore, are you?
Yep, just getting ready to stop.
Okay. All right.